Okay, now I need you to analyze my dream for me, okay? So, not last night, but the night before, I had a dream that I lived out in the middle of nowhere with a different family that was not my family. And they were like a bunch of like country bumpkins. It was like the typical most like out in the middle of nowhere family from like a movie or something, right? Out in the middle of nowhere. And I was like the only one with any common sense and any city streets and blah 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 blah. I know it's pretty close to home to Torb, pretty close to home. But in this, it was like out in the middle of nowhere. And so basically in the dream, I drove back from like school or something, and I got back home. And apparently in this universe for me, our grandfather, as in me and my other family members who were very country and had strong country accents, our grandfather had been cursed by a witch. And his curse was that the witch turned him into a carrot. And he'd been this way for years. And Peepaw looked like a carrot that looked like this. And it was like the bits of the carrot that are like the like whatever these are, the natural stripy bits of the carrot were like the eyes, basically, Grandpa's eyes and mouth, and then his wrinkles, and like there's like even like a bit of nose, right? And so and he couldn't talk, and he had I think he was like conscious, but he couldn't talk or communicate or anything like that. I'm sure he wasn't a carrot though, because he could blink. The carrot could blink. So the carrot could blink, but it could not speak. And so in my dream with Grandpa Carrot, no, it wasn't a joke. Because you know in your dream when you're like, you know something to be true. So in my dream, we all just knew that was Grandpa. And Grandpa was a carrot. And so I came home from school or something. And I got home and I was like, all of my family was like, "Oh, we're glad you're back. You're just in time for dinner." And I was like, "Okay, what are we having for dinner?" And they're like, "We're having soup with meat and vegetables in it." And I was like, "Okay." So I go into the kitchen and I'm like, "You guys are putting carrots in the soup." And I look on the kitchen counter and there's like 7 carrots on the counter. And I'm like, "You guys are putting carrots in the soup?" And they're like, "Yeah, every good soup needs carrots in it." And I'm like, "Where's Grandpa at?" And they're like, "Well, we wanted Grandpa to feel at home, so we put him next to the other carrots." And I'm like, "You put our grandfather, who has been turned into a carrot, next to the other carrots that you're going to put in the soup." And they're like, "Well, we know which one's Grandpa." And I was like, what if you forget and you just absent-mindedly chop up Grandpa and put him in the soup? And they're like, "We would never do that." So I was like, so I took Grandpa Carrot and I put him in his room. And I was like, "Listen, the next time you guys make a soup, you need to be careful. Do not put him on the counter. Keep him away from these things. Because was just a mistake waiting to happen. And they were like, all right, whatever. And that was the fucking dream. And I woke up and I was like, what the fuck is going on? What is wrong with me? What is wrong? Ninja, thanks for gifting to Carrot Grandpa. That was it. I didn't even like... We didn't even like, I don't know why this is so squeaky. We didn't even have the soup in my dream. There was nothing else. It was just me yelling at my family for almost mixing up Grandpa in the other carrots that were going to be used for the soup. It means I'm gay. I'm not surprised. You're stressed about dealing with incompetent people in your day-to-day life. I don't know. Oh, is there something Freudian about it? Is that just because I said Grandpa was a ribbed carrot? Whatever. An anxiety dream? Probably.